too long ago, a couple days ago, I should say, I put out a video when the whole rumors broke of Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12. And I put out that video. You'll be able to see it up here at the top. And at the time, I discussed it, and I thought, I don't know if it's going to happen. Would it be beneficial for Texas or for a program like Oklahoma to leave the Big 12 to the SEC? So I was a little skeptical, and I thought, it's just rumors, whatever it may be. Well, it looks like it's set in stone at this point. As of today, the Texas and Oklahoma put out that they're not going to extend their grant of rights in the Big 12 when it comes up, I think in 2025, which, gosh, is going to be here sooner than we know it. So that means that Oklahoma and Texas are on their way out, and they're going to the SEC. And there's speculation, is the SEC going to stop there? I've seen some talk that, they could get up to 20 to 24 teams and kind of just play their own schedule. Regardless, if we're just looking at Texas and Oklahoma, this is a huge get for the SEC. Huge get for the Southeastern Conference. Because you're not getting, when the Big Ten added Maryland and Rutgers, they added that for money reasons. They wanted more coverage of the Big Ten network, and that was going to generate more money, and it did. This is a complete power play. You're getting the two biggest brands in the Big 12. And in Oklahoma, you're getting a top 5 college football program. If you look at where college football is today, you've got Alabama, you've got Clemson, Ohio State, and Oklahoma's right there. They're in that discussion, top 5, put Georgia in there, put Florida in there, USC maybe, Oregon. I think Oklahoma's easily in that top 4 or 5, no questions asked. And so not only are you expanding your conference and getting 2 more schools, but you're getting a premier team right away. And then in Texas, you're getting the flagship university in the state of Texas. And I know that's going to make a lot of A&M fans and administration and all that upset because they want it. And I don't blame them. If I'm A&M, I'm mad because you were the only SEC school in the state of Texas. And that was a huge recruiting advantage. And that's going to go away, and it will affect them long term. No, I think as long as Jimbo Fisher continues to build and has success, kids are going to want to go there. And if they're a better program than Texas, they're still going to get that talent. But I was a little skeptical of Oklahoma. I think my biggest thing of saying I don't know if this is going to happen centered around the idea that why would is this a good move for Oklahoma competitively? I mean, they always make moves because of financial reasons, and Oklahoma's going to make significantly more money in the SEC than they did in the Big 12. But I thought competitively, is this the best situation for them? Because they're a college football playoff contender every single year because they can win their conference. They just have to beat a couple good, Iowa State this upcoming year. They just have to beat Iowa State. They have to beat their whole schedule, but that's their true toughest opponent. And I thought, gosh, going to the SEC, is that going to be too tough for them? And are they going to maybe take a step back? But then if you look at it and you think, okay, what's the SEC going to do? Now that we've got these 2 teams, they move it up to 16. They're going to redo their divisions. And they're going to redo the West and the East, more than likely. And you're going to have Texas and Oklahoma joining the Western Division, and I think you're going to have Missouri come over with them back from the East, and you lose Alabama and Auburn. So now here's Oklahoma. Their division, it's A&M, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, and the 2 Mississippi schools along with Arkansas. Tell me right there, Oklahoma's probably the best program in there. Okay? It's going to be between them, A&M, and LSU. And LSU always has a ton of talent, but, doesn't always put it all together. And so that, I think, really benefits Oklahoma because they're right in their position. They maybe need to get better in a few areas, but they're in a position right away to come in, and I think that's a very winnable division for them. Now that moves Alabama and Auburn to the East. Now if you're a Florida fan or a Georgia fan, you are not liking that one bit because you had a much easier division. You just, if you're Alabama or if you're Florida or Georgia, you just had to win that game and, more than likely take care of business, and you were in the SEC championship game. Now you got not only Alabama, but Auburn. I mean, Auburn's won a national championship in, the last 10 years? Whatever it may be with Cam Newton. And, gone to it too with Nick Marshall and them. And so that division gets a little bit tougher. But if you take a look at it, the divisions are still pretty comparable. You got Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Those are your top three teams. The other side, you got Oklahoma, LSU, and potentially Texas A&M. It's a lot more even. You don't have such a lopsided Western division than the Eastern Division. And the Eastern Division was nothing to, sure, you had South Carolina, who wasn't very good recently, and Tennessee, who's had their struggles, and Vanderbilt, who's a struggle post James Franklin. But that division gets a little bit stronger, and I think it should be definitely interesting to see what they do, and I hope they go to those types of divisions. I think it's going to only make the conference stronger. They're going to make a ton of money, and like I said, I think it evens things out, and it's going to make an already strong and probably the best conference in college football even more stronger and even more compelling, and that's crazy considering how good it's already been.